Again, pre-production began January of 2021. Started at the same time or even before Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie. Filming began June 15th of 2022. So this show completed principal photography 3 years ago. You see the first episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, all airing June 24th. Why drop 3 episodes on June 24th? Pretty simple. Online. Yeah, this is on Marvel.com. So this is the horse's mouth. Ryan Coogler breaks down the Ironheart trailer. The executive producer, so not a showrunner, but he gets EP credits because he brought the character in, I guess, to Wakanda Forever and whatnot. So, okay. Unpacks the scrappy optimism of Marvel's new show launching on June 24th. Remember that date, June 24th. There is a distinct reason the Walt Disney Company did that, and I'm going to explain. It cannot be overlooked. Ironheart head writer Chinaka Hodge and executive producer Zoe Nagelhoot. Okay, we're particularly interested in the clash between science and magic. Riri is definitely in a conversation. Coogler says that Riri is not taking over from Tony or following in his footsteps. Instead, she's eager to forge her own legacy, but she's stealing Tony's shit and making a Tony Stark Iron Man suit. Make those two things make sense, Ryan, because they ain't making sense. We've been waiting so long to bring this to the world, Ryan Coogler says, and it's coming at the perfect time. 3 years after it was finished, I guess. I'm so proud of everybody in this show, and I'm excited for folks to get to see it. That may be the problem. I'm not sure that folks are really going to see it. So I'm showing everybody, this is IMDb Pro. This was shot here. Pre-production began January of 2021. Again, pre-production began January of 2021. Started at the same time or even before Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie. Filming began June 15th of 2022. So summer of 22, this started filming. Post-production began, and it wasn't that long. Look, June to October. So July, August, September, 4 months, not super long for a television show like this, but it's only 6 episodes. Post-production began October 21st, 2022. So this show completed principal photography 3 years ago. Okay. Filmed here in the States. Riri Williams, this is from Disney, a brilliant MIT student, creates her own high-tech suit of armor that she stole from Iron Man, inspired by the legacy of Tony Stark, as she navigates the challenges of being a young Black woman in a male-dominated field. There it is. And the classroom was full of white kids. You got the white teacher and everything else. So you see what they're setting up. This show is already disconnected from the core Marvel audience, which is mostly demographically white dudes. And look, a lot of white dudes showed up to go see Black Panther, including me, because you had a charismatic actor and a character that was introduced in spectacular fashion in Captain America Civil War. We haven't gotten that here with Riri Williams. And again, when you put this on top of all of the other swaps that we've gotten from Marvel, I mean, we've got Girl Hawkeye. We've had Girl Thor. Now we're getting Black Girl Iron Man. We've got Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel. You've got the Black Marvel, whatever her name was, that came out of WandaVision. They've been pushing this more and more and more female. The audience is gone. This is not going to get anybody else in the door. This is not going to help. And I just don't see this really getting any better from that perspective. So they've confirmed, you see the first episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, all airing June 24th. Now, right now, they're showing episodes 4, 5, and 6 as airing, weekly. So July 1st, July 8th, July 15th. Why drop 3 episodes on June 24th? Pretty simple. First of all, you're going to desperately need to bang away at the charts because you want this to chart on Luminate. You want this to chart on Nielsen. Disney has had a very piss poor track record of any type of substantive success with any of these major expensive Disney Plus shows that involve Marvel or Star Wars, especially ones not named Mandalorian or Loki. Everything else has been far, far, far downhill from there. It's probably going to do better than Echo, which that is not a high bar to get over, okay? I don't think it's going to do as well as Agatha All Along, which that wasn't even that great. I mean, 9.6 million viewers around the planet Earth after a week is not very good for a show like that. It's not terrible, but it's not great. This is probably going to do worse. So I would not expect Disney to put out any numbers on this. You put it out on June 26th because the fiscal quarter ends on June 30th. What is Disney trying to do right now? What have we been talking about earlier in the show? Disney is desperate to try to keep profitability increasing on paper with DTC, with streaming. If this is indeed a $200 million TV show, which I have almost no doubt that's probably what it's going to come back close to. And we'll never know, unfortunately, because it was shot in the States. But look at the CGI. Look at what they're doing in the show. It's an Iron Man suit. This is not a cheap show, okay? Agatha All Along was a visually kind of a cheap show, and they did it a lot cheaper. Ironheart was done way before Agatha was a thought in that regard. This was given a full-blown Marvel production. This was shot on location in Georgia, in Chicago. So this is not shot on the volume like Mando or Book of Boba Fett. This was not $120 million show. This is probably going to push 200. Like I said, especially with the interest cost of holding this thing for 3 years. Disney is going to take, let's say, half of it, right? Half the show comes out before June 30th, and the other half of the show comes out July 1st and after. Basically, what Disney is going to do here is they're going to take the cost of the show, which is probably retarded. It's probably $200 million. And they're going to straddle it over the hump of 2 fiscal quarters. So they'll take half the write-off for this show, or half the expenses will be amortized into the second or the third fiscal quarter ending June 30th, and the other $100 million will be taken in the 4th fiscal quarter. Because Disney, remember, they just announced the release date not that long ago. You got Andor right now. Andor is sitting on that Disney cash flow like a hot turd right now. $350 to $400 million. That whole show aired in this fiscal quarter for Disney on Disney Plus. Now you're about to drop another $200 million show maybe in the same quarter. They're trying to stretch that out. I'm honestly a little surprised they didn't push it all the way out to the 4th quarter. But I think this is also why Disney kind of gave some guidance with streaming that it might soften up a little bit in the current quarter. Clearly, that was due to the enormous expense of Andor and its complete lack of engagement by any large audience. Ironheart's not going to be any different. So instead of trying to eat it all at one time, I think they broke it up. I don't even know what they have coming out between July 1st and October 1st. But I'm assuming part of this was they had to get this out, number one. And think about all of the Disney movies that are going to be hitting Disney Plus from July 1st to October 1st. All the stuff right now. Think about Lilo and Stitch that's about to come out. That's going to land in that last quarter for Disney. Think about the other summer movies like Elio. All that's probably going to land on Disney Plus. They're going to have a lot of expenses, ledger entries, journal entries on Disney Plus, negatives, big negatives, when all this stuff hits Disney Plus from the theaters, and they've got this thing sitting in the middle of it.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.